Greetings and salutations. This is the voice of Loquacious of Herd, bringing you his afterthoughts on My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 8, Episode 11, titled Molt Down. I heartily suggest you find and watch the episode itself, sans commentary, before proceeding with either the Spoken Herd's Afterthoughts review or viewing my full reaction, which is hosted at a link in the description. Please support the official release. Be warned, this Afterthoughts review will contain spoilers for the episode. With that out of the way, on to the review. We begin with Spike and Rarity, always a fun pairing to see, as they're off into the woods to visit Pee-wee the Phoenix. It's very nice to get yet more callbacks and continuity. Plus, they provide a very reasonable explanation for why we have not seen much, or indeed anything, of the little flame-feathered rascal in, 6 seasons? 5, if you count the photos he shows up in back in Just for Sidekicks, which, as the observant have noted, provide the story of Pee-wee's return to his parents.
Phoenixes aren't meant to be domesticated. Even in the wild, they like to keep to themselves.
Well, they are beautiful. A few of their feathers will add just the right splash of color to my native... Spike! What are you doing?
Nothing.
No, Spike is clearly doing something, and methinks the plot begins.
Is there something wrong with your face?
It's a stone scale. It isn't magical or anything like the Call of the Dragon Lord. It's just red and itchy and embarrassing.
So, Spike's getting blemishes. Dragon acne, scaly pimples. Is this an indication of some sort of draconic puberty? Possibly. After a quick visit with the Phoenixes, Spike dismisses Rarity's recommendation to visit Zecora for some medicine or ointment to help clear up his stone scales. He prefers to sleep it off back at home.
I slept like a rock. Which reminds me, all that sleep probably cleared up my stone scale.
On second thought, you can go back to sleep if you want.
Sleeping in, massive outbreak of blemishes, yeah, this is looking more and more like dragon puberty. One has to wonder what other changes are in store for our young dragon. For now, it's all about hiding his blemishes and trying to avoid being seen.
But I'm not leaving the castle until my face is back to its adorable self.
Fine, but you're still gonna help me practice my lecture. The element of generosity and its importance in relation to the other elements of harmony...
Add massive uncontrollable fire burps to dragon puberty symptoms. Well, no more hiding in the castle, which, while the structure itself may be fireproof, is, I will admit, quite full of very flammable books and such. So, still trying to hide his breakout, it's off into the town.
Hey there, not handsome.
Oh, Spike! My, what a fetching ensemble you put together. Very noir-esque. I believe Shadow Spade herself would approve.
Thanks.
But I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking it off.
What?
Let's just go with no comment and move along. Yes, let's. So, Rarity is starting to have hearing issues, and she's looking for a model for her phoenix feather dress. Self-conscious, Spike is clearly not up for modeling, and seeking an excuse to back out of it. A convenient lie will do.
Sorry, Rarity, but I am super busy all day giving tours of the school.
How quickly will karma turn that convenient lie into an inconvenient truth?
Really? I thought I was giving tours today. Guess not. Free day!
Immediately! The answer is immediately. As Spike attempts to be a tour guide and deal with the increasing itchiness of his stone scales, yet another symptom emerges, a distinct lack of control of his volume. He now appears to vary between normal speech, shouting, and whispering, more or less at random.
What? Could you please stop shouting? We're trying to do our homework, and it's kind of distracting.
Was I shouting?
You're kind of dead. Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Thankfully, Smolder knows a thing or two about what Spike's going through, and she is willing to step in and help him learn a bit more about the Molt.
Wow! I have seen some pretty bad molts in my time, but yours takes the cake.
Molts?
The molt, super painful stone scales, fire burps, uncontrollable volume shifts. It's all part of growing up dragon. Congrats! Oh, sorry.
Turns out there's more to it than just a few physical changes. In dragon society, molting dragons are driven away from home, possibly because of the smell, and find themselves beset by predators, terrible creatures who find the smell of molting dragons interesting and delicious, all of which has Spike freaking out.
So Twilight's kicking me out, and the only creatures who don't find me disgusting want to eat me?
Seriously, I heard none of that.
Twilight's kicking me out, and the only creatures who don't find me disgusting want to eat me?
Congrats! Hey! Is this the shouting closet? Because I've got a free day and I'm totally up for some shouting! Also, where's that Brussels sprouts covered in cotton candy smell coming from? Because it is really interesting.
Did Pinkie Pie just admit to wanting to eat Spike? Accompanied by Smolder's nudge nudge wink wink say no more? Pinkie Pie devours dragons? You know, let's just label this yet another no comment moment and move along. Specifically, let's move rapidly to the Everfree Forest to solicit Zecora's help in suppressing the worst effects of the molt.
I said it's embarrassing!
If the goal is to not have your friends all depart, perhaps your volume is where we should start.
Oh no. Huh?
Decora! Hello? Are you there?
I can't let Rarity see me like this! Please don't let her know I'm here!
Turns out Rarity's hearing has just flat out gone. What could be responsible for that?
I have no idea what happened. 1 minute I was sewing phoenix feathers onto a dress, and the next I couldn't hear my own voice.
Ah, the feathers of that bird can affect Pony's ears. It's a magic ailment I've treated for years.
Zecora covers for Spike, who sneaks away while Rarity gets some eardrops. But when Zecora goes to start helping Spike some more, they run into a, spot of trouble.
Did I forget to mention the molt smell attracts predators?
That's something that would have been quite nice to know, but it's not worth discussing right now. We should go.
Shenanigans ensue. Zecora gets grabbed by a rock, which, for those who are unfamiliar with Middle Eastern mythology, is an Arabic fairy tale beastie, a giant hunting bird, which usually scoops up elephants for its dinner. Ponies? More like popcornies. Still, it's interested in a snack. Next up, Rarity, returning to double-check directions on her eardrops. She gets grabbed too. Spike is briefly caught, but manages to escape. Now, though, his symptoms include a full-body glow to accompany his intolerable itching. And who should show up but Twilight? Wait, Twilight?
Well, I was headed to Zecora's to get some cream for your scales. I had no idea you were...
About to be eaten by a giant predator attracted to my molt smell?
Molt smell? Was that Rarity?
And Zecora. I tried to save them, but it's all I can do to stop scratching long enough to dive out of the way when that bird attacks.
Twilight Sparkle uses something zappy. It's not very effective. Then, Spike uses Harden?
Ah, finally! I didn't think that itching would ever stop. happening? I can't move!
Traditionally, when a reptile molts, they cast off their old skin and emerge with a new, larger, and more mature body. So, does this mean...
What just happened? Did I just sprout wings? I just sprouted wings!
Larsa! Sorry, old habit. I mean, Haber! Seriously though, huzzah and congrats. I've occasionally wondered if we'd ever get any substantial maturation or physical change for Spike as he ages. I'm all down with his growing wings. Now, to save the captive ponies.
I know that the Molt produced surprising things, but I'm glad that the last was a new pair of wings.
Yes, and also I'm glad you've got wings!
Huzzah! The only thing left to address are Spike's fears that, having gone through the Molt, his pony family will treat him as his dragon family would have.
The molt is when dragons get older and start to change. I wish I could stop it, but I can't. I should go.
Go? What are you talking about?
In the Dragonlands, families make molters leave home. It's called the Molt effect.
Well, this isn't the Dragonlands, and Molt effect or no, I don't want you going anywhere.
But I'm growing up. What if something even worse happens?
You're supposed to grow up, but you'll always be you. And whatever happens, we'll get through it together.
Ah, a sweet ending to an amusing romp through draconic puberty. And some big changes for a longtime character. I'll be interested to see how this all plays out in the future. If you wish to see my full reaction to My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 8, Episode 11, titled Molt Down, the link, as I mentioned earlier, is in the description. Feel free to leave any comments or likes for that reaction here on this Afterthoughts review. And until next time, as always, kindly remember, y'all are awesome. Stay awesome.